The numbers, such as they were, could not correspond to a season. Autocorrect the liminal with your gelatin print, portfolio sales. In such cloud as this anaphylactic blackness, you've been stung so many times as to wither the government. Fuck the autumn weather, the plenitude of stems and lyric apples. Fuck everything in the menagerie now. You can't get up, thorax, stray violin and veering west to south like air. I wanted a sheer definition of liar, Leah at the starting scene. Play press to collect this, parcel abundance, stock careers. I love you like milk loves milk before it is sold, a sour or a platitude. Dearest appraisal of day in the scene. Swerve is a move of consciousness, accordant to blue or nuclear red, internal burn even prior to cloud, even that particular snow, so pink it would make a nurse blush to tend the skin so burnt by it. Pray lest the village were moving silkier into themselves, in masses of communal water, a drunk man comes to repair the starling not far from my father's lodge. Will you ever have sex again? I ask the crow, who visits my lovely English oak and spreads its loving black on the green and swivels around in the wetness of all that black, shiniest feathers, staring to melt in the liquid breeze I see with. The emphasis of moon has been, sweet imperiled self again, we have no use for your atoms, we gather up your bitten dreams. The crow is cautious, the crow is a pronoun, don't say the wind and the grass is changing course. The crow is anachronism. This is the picture of the lake that was taken. This is the hungriest daisy, lackadaisical, I am become flower, I swerve in the breeze, which is only the lyric, summoning out syntax, close our pretty face at night. My iPhone detects a faceless ethics, as though I had Levinas on speed dial already, sufficient to ever corrupt the line. Babies cry.mp3, the beneficial empathy, duly served. Have I said what I've had to say of a swerve, when the car pulled in and almost killed me, quick as a kiss, redeliver your life. Touchstone shimmer, 8-bit lyric, carry your nerve in the kissing, be less of the bloom you become as lace. I tie up loose ends for you in the hold, enter gravitational, we become apposition. She lets herself towards becoming less, gives away her clothes, her sparkling dolls, her cancelled glitter. They enslave polyethylene to terephthalate in our fish, this literal. It is likely the glitter will teem in our seas. I relinquish my hold in eucalyptus cellulose, enhancing natural selection, astride our brazen shine. It is promiscuity, mutating in quick November air, as though contact itself were ambient only, where you realize the also in the AM, I are, them are us too, and a late perishing, a curl of protein. Anecdote is super effective. Goodbye, first love, goodbye, goodbye, I tie you my shoes. You split a lace and count the elegant swans by the lake we only painted. Tiny glitter in your eye was almost blinding. I let my fingers graze the rocks and leaves, pleading feedback. Yohuna, eudaimonia, the cars tipped over overnight, a glass of white wine, and I see the salt-dried oils before me, and Google reveals all spent earth in churlish pastels, as if Camille had not drawn up the plans and held her own. Desire exists in the twisted red, susurrations between glass panels, and these exquisite remains of a tree. Life is good to know, a deciduous shot that flares and falls in the corpus of writing. I forget my aphoristic lust in message body, crying on my mother's kitchen floor. 5 years that have passed, 5 elisions of summary, in which light at 8 is a miracle paragraph. We live by the calyx of online status, a singular ovular green beside the smallest familiar face. So I've been writing a lot of poetry about rats, and this is one. No lyric poetry after apocalypse. Sicknesses and sniff. White rat powder, actual narrative. This didn't happen, but it did wake up, go dark, iron jump everyone. Sacred infernal glucose, rising, heaving moon for which I lack vernacular. Dice subjectivity and clavicle, heft of language, my magical thinking, my tryst of salt, running all over the word again. Well, it happened. Imagine looking back to where it happened. A tiny spice boy crawls from the sea, and you lick, and you lick. I want to feel like this is real, lost of a world, a person, licking the air of a person. The automatic correction sniffing around, I'm sick, this is me, I lost the bet. Incredible feeling anything. You focus on the star beside my eye. I swear I'm a person, a loss of a person, it is a bead of blood. What if all the eggs came out at once? You could lick them up like stars, hatch on the loneliness, library crying, chewed up books. I give you the narrative back. Sisu says we bite the text. We leave out the middle, want it crisp. The others are lisping. I enjom everyone, especially you, a tiny piece of cheap apparition, a warm, incredible music, peanut butter stuck to the sun. Nude. Some goldfish are meant to be stuck. That is the order of carnival. Suppose we were not that, but the little bars of notification, the pip in a piece of citrus. There is too much alliteration in the rain to not leave this. I do it in the morning, palms coated blue. I go out to print on each building like a teenager kissing lampposts, or Justine in Melancholia, who says the meatloaf tastes of ash, and that is how I access concision, this blue, which is also ash, and the foliage swept back in her tresses of hair as she opens herself to a terrible planet. Tender such lights you forget to see, the app that informs us of where we are when we say that we are just standing here. The philosophical paucity of drawing this blue around the poem, splash page, beginning to say, my lips stuck frost, my infinite name in the sea. Like the album cover, my room underwater, I commit this to clove and song. Which citrus is it that crimsons the skin? Something to believe, the clearing showers in a drink that calls us short. I have been in this rain and the stars still pissing, the gold coming off another sun, its acid rising, so much to just write this and not lick the shape of where you fell so far. What days have passed from me and their matter, stirred nude by the water, gilding our traces, strokes and breath, wild and blue, gilding our traces, strokes, we swirl around the world a while, what we are, we are. This one I wrote the day after the general election, which I realised was almost 3 months ago, which is scary, but yeah. Other side. All this talk of heartlands and the personal, pink noise in my temples, the spread of it, insomnia scroll of yellow and blue. Lie down a while as if this were closest, best, the kisses that missed our screens again. I am trying to say that daylight is worth the hour we live by, as if still living by eloquent hungers, cuts to service. We have to keep saying there is worth in this. They are coming for us as if we did not open the door for those who would slam our cloudy reality into a tree they would soon chop down. I gave you a pamphlet, you gave me a name. I can't stop thinking of things we did, eating crisps at midnight, how you held me up in the waterfall, the dolphins didn't mind us at all. It is a virus, we can't keep touching the winter inside each other. I'm sorry you had to keep saying it. Your eyes were so green, I couldn't stop saying it. The world surrenders email, and yet I sent you the last of my sad, hard hurts. I dreamt I was singing a quiet, elaborate alto for love, and the cities between us ceased to be. So this last one has 2 epigraphs, if that's not too fancy. It's called Blossom. The first is from Clarice Lispector's Agua Viva. Hear me, hear my silence. What I say is never what I say, but instead something else. When I say abundant waters, I'm speaking of the force of body in the waters of the world. It captures that other thing that I'm really saying because I myself cannot. And the second's from Adrian Rich's Diving into the Wreck. I crawl like an insect down the ladder, and there is no one to tell me when the ocean will begin. On becoming a body, the little abundant shines, and its pores are clotted with dust. I saw what sound it was a wave makes, when startled by gestures towards this torsion, a long beach, the false irrigation of beautiful islands. The melody was a long intimation of losing faith in what is meant by a certain colour, not this blue which runs in the Prussian rain. I want to run up the spine of your back and settle the amygdala city, tie my lyrical wrists in Mobius fibers, and return the rights to speech. Do you want to continue? He was born and beautiful, he might have seizures. We interfere in definition. The depression of time is a beautiful curve in the small of morning, named after the call you wanted, blue dust of feeling, blue dust of biblical name. I worry for his tiny heart. Glycolic afloat in the radical millions. When I say this bird is a nameless bird, plotting and pecking the wreck, I go down in such hunger. I go down without formula, not this, the world is stuck. I sing to you in the echo, in the rich and greatest loss. Who hurt us? I had a dream we were swimming in the San Pedro Bay, just like the video, it was almost sunny. There will come a time when my car won't start, if I ever have a car in a lightless world. The structure of passion is a ritzy hotel. Your hour is a fucking astronaut. Imagine Disney injected arterial dreams this crudely. Imagine a fire in the minibar at the back of your mind. As the relation to your wreck, I call it ship. I still want the elsewhere conduit of thoughts to sign my brain as treeware in the black gold, my oleochemical, fear of soap and Gaussian world as a kitten. She burns it all up. On becoming this backlit history of pixels, we pour into jars the last of sea glass, liquid shingles. I cut the bird into salad, I cut this sort of pristine hope to feed the kitten. I thought the picket was shining in rain, a sound. Something is drawing us out. I make a romance from your shoes, and the kissable way of these days is a no-show, mewing, the marketing of genital shame, the apocalypse breakfast taste of salt. Come back into my life, I always found you with a breath laced in pesticide, a currency of morphine, dreamingly back like a thrush. I want to wreck the multitude of this song with its hypothermia, its oil-made hide of feathers. You want me to be less literal, I like your wildlife. Lighter, somewhere, what we see without reason. What can soak up the dark this good? I like your messages. I like to react with my abstract halo. The re-diagnosis spread depression, to kill, not clean, the long and beautiful rain. Prizing the daylight from its packet, I want April, a lot of lilac song. I go down in the nervous water, deep in mammalian blood. I am not breath, not bird, west coast. My body is a poke of air in the book. And it lets in the crudest wind, reminder of gold, in the room where we woke up last October, in my father's house in the valley, where frost never leaves the cornicing forests, or sets its voice to speak for the sodas and junipers. If we could just avalanche into orange like the song, Mount Erie would be a genuine place to kill or not kill the birds we oiled in the Prussian rain. They gleam like unemployment doesn't in the colourless streets. We share a little nest of noctilucent materials. I was jobless as the natural light, listening to your come down opening chord, which is to say, I think we should stop seeing at all. I roll around in the oil of this, happy as Adderall, to sob uncontrollable, to stop trying to see you as snow, if a former love should fall very cool, like a 2-minute Uber, costs less than lunch. Doctor, he could break me, the ultimate mosh is us. I have said that he could, and he could. I have said that too much. To float like capital back to your panic, I smooth my sleepless residuals. Ducked it. You come back holding a blink to know that time is a gleam. We had a guest speaker passing out emotional structures of passion. I wrote everything down. It is a wreck to think in the beautiful rain. It is all that dissolves to remember. I hope to meet in code someday again, to set this in parenthesis, very lightly, choosing to run the artificial palms horizontal across your eventide. This was all ours in the poem, prospering. We know each other so much more than mineral in the flotsam way. A lot of coffee fills our fault lines, and the tar sands sing, and the quicksands go astray. What if the waters don't touch what we were, to sing something hurting, to rainbow the quoted weight of your heart is only debris. I go so long in the rain to break her. I go so long in the run as to make a beach in loops of oil, to empty my purse of mermaids, to feel like the only decorated islands in the United States of America. Cheers.